Hello and welcome back, everybody. Dragalia here, and finally back with a guide. And once again, I'm joined by my brother.
Hey!
There he is. So we're back with guides. This won't be like the massive the progression guide, alright? These will be shorter guides in preparation and leading up to the anniversary. Especially for newer players, that way they can start the game now and really start to get a feel for the game. That way when anniversary hits, they can accumulate as much rewards as possible.
So here's our idea with this, right? We're thinking about releasing these dual videos, because these take a bit to edit, from a week-to-week basis leading up to anniversary. We wanted to start with a guide that a lot of people can benefit from, because not everyone knows team building properly.
Yes.
And just things like that. So we're gonna start with just general knowledge that people should know, but then you're gonna see we'll drift more into the beginner stuff as anniversary gets closer and closer, as more people get eyes on the game.
Exactly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and also the future videos of this, like a little series.
So long as I am needed.
So just if you do enjoy, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Feel free to follow me on Twitch, join the Discord down below, and feel free to follow me on Twitter as well. So then, with that out of the way, let's begin. So, team building. There are really two types of teams you guys want to focus on, alright? Co-op teams and single-player teams. Single-player teams, they can edit based off of the either event or content you're trying to clear, while co-op teams, those are more for your end-game type teams. So then, so for example, right here, I have an example of a co-op team. Alright? Alright, how co-op works in this game is that only your first unit counts as long as all 4 people are present. Just if for example only one person joins, your second member would count. But however, because this is for end game content, there should be 4 people joining, so therefore I only have the first unit truly built. The other 3 are still important. Those are still very important because they're co-abilities, they still benefit the main unit. Alright? So definitely keep that in mind. Alright? And that will go for all teams as well. So on this team, for example, I built this team around Eiyuden Dragon Haste. Just if you haven't seen that video where I mess around with this, feel free to dig through my channel and watch that. I have a lot of fun doing that. But, well, more or less, I built this team around that mechanic, and I was just having fun with it. This is not optimal, but this is just a fun team. I've had it in co-op before. But, well, every single unit on this team, it fulfills a certain purpose, and also benefits the very specific unit that I have, alright? Eiyuden is the starter unit, and he benefits immensely from dragons. So, that's why I built this team around dragons. But then, well, if I were to take another team, for example, say for example, this Hawk team, this is a much more simpler build because this is built around generic damage for him. Because well, for example, here I have a flurry strength on my Linyo, and just if you don't know what flurry is, when you get a certain amount of hits, you get a strength up.
And there's also one for critical rate as well, Flurry Devastation, which that has... One unit has that, but it's only for fire, I believe. Where is she?
As a chain coab.
Yes, as a chain right here. I don't have her built up, but it is right here.
Yes.
This is Flurry Devastation, Linyo is Flurry Strength.
Yes, those are just 2 examples of very good chain co abilities. But then, generally, when it comes to damaging units, When in doubt, skill damage and strength. Those two you can't go wrong with at all. Those two are very good for damaging units. Crit rate is also very, very, very powerful on some units, and which I can actually show off Galaxia, for example, because her kit is built around getting crits for critical damage and her making sure she keeps a combo time. That's why I built this team right here, alright? Nobu has that strength and the combo time. Ezlith has a crit rate and even more combo time. And meanwhile, Marth has the flurry strength. It's solely built on making sure Galaxy keeps those combos, gets that critical damage as fast as possible, and can still benefit from the additional strength as well. It is a very powerful comp. And well, that is generally how you want to think about doing co-op teams. Matt, show your grace.
Okay, wait. There's one thing I want to explain really, really fast. So, you guys are seeing an example I'm putting up on screen now of sword units and co-abilities versus chain co-abilities stacking. As you can see up here, my Marth, his co-ability is Dragon Haste, his chain is Flurry Strength. Eudin's co-ability is Dragon Haste, and his chain co-ability is Dragon Haste. As you can see, he's only getting one of the Dragon Haste, one of the first Dragon Haste, because co-abilities don't stack. But chain co-abilities can. That is why you see for Yuga here, his Flame Dragon Haste and Eudin's chain co-ability Dragon Haste, they all stack. Those stack along with Marth's co-ability. So you can have a co-ability and a chain co-ability stack, and then be the same. Co-abilities also stack in that same way. Now, to avoid some form of confusion, Flurry Strength and Strength, Crit Rate, and Flurry Devastation, they count as different buffs. So you can have both them on. So, I don't know if there's a fire unit in this example who has Strength up as a chain co-ability to compare with Marth here, but just know they both stack that way. It's perfectly fine.
Yes, and well, thank you for clearing that up actually. So
I think I explained that well enough. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free to ask us in the Discord or down in the comments. We're more than happy to answer these kinds of questions. We get team building questions all the time. It's something I definitely thought of when I pitched this idea to him.
Yes. So now I think that just about does it for co-op teams. To where you really only have focus on one unit, then the rest can just kind of exist.
Right. You wanted to see my grace?
Alright, then show your grace real quick then. Come on.
Me and my 9.8 grace.
Well, explain it though.
Okay, so...
Explain what makes Grace and the general healer comp so good.
Okay, so healing scales off of max HP. Grace's shields, she gives shields based on her maximum HP. So what I have here is I have Botan, Sazanka, and Chrom. Chrom surprises people.
But there's a method to the madness.
Yes, there is a method to my madness. My madness. Botan has 15% HP up. Defense, okay. Sazanka gives Shadow HP as a chain co-ability. So once again, it stacks with the co-ability, 50% HP. So those stack. Chrom's HP 10% and defense 10%. It's a unique co-ability. So that still stacks along with the HP and the defense. So that's a total of 25, 34% HP from co-abilities alone. That's what that counts as. That's how it all adds up.
And well, generally that is mostly how you want to build healers. But skill haste is still a very good co-ability as well for support units as well. That way they can get their skills faster because, well, skill haste. I feel like the name is so self-explanatory.
Oh, so I'm showing off my Halloween Lowen right now. very similar situation. And also, one more thing I'd like to explain with chain code abilities, I've never said this, and I apologize. Chain code abilities are mostly type restricted. Eudin's isn't, because it just specifies regular Dragon Haste in the chain. Patia's here, for example, Shadow HP 6% equals Strength 5%. Lowen won't get that. But he will get the Flame 60% equals Strength plus 5%. He gets that. He gets Crom's Wind Res. He does not get Patia's attack. I think it's self-explanatory, but I thought I would say that just in case.
Earth and fair enough. Now I think that does do it for co-op teams. So now let's move on to a more single-player based team where you need all 4 units worked up. Now then,
have one?
I mean, well, you better have one.
Oh wait, I do dark. Hold up.
Yeah, there you go. So though I have this team, for example, being my auto dark team for most content. I'm still trying to build this to auto endgame content, which that is possible. It's just very specific. but I built this team around what each kit does, and I don't worry too much about the collabs here, but it is preferred to not overlap on collabs, obviously. So then, for example, Patia Grace, their combo is just absolutely ridiculous, because when it comes to Grace, for example, again, Grace is what gives the life shields, and Grace has a healing double buff, so every time she receives a defense buff, she will heal HP. And Patia, off of her first skill, when mana 70 at least, gives defense and strength. So therefore, she would then support the main DPS as well as supporting Grace by making her then regen HP a little faster. Now then, I have Zena here, which is a free unit. I have Zena. That way, whenever she uses her skills, she can then regen even more HP. So therefore, Grace is then getting HP back very fast. Then Grace can then just pop more shields, and therefore everyone can stay alive. And Galax, well, I feel like Gala Alex is nuts, alright? Gala Alex is just nuts, alright? She is my main form of DPS. That's all I have to say about that. Now then, generally, when it comes to a single-player team, in which, well, I do have an example somewhere. Yes, here. Well, when it comes to a single-player team, you generally want to do 2 DPS, 1 support, 1 healer. Now then, on this team, for example, I have Martha and Nobu being my main forms of DPS. I have Halloween Mim being a support. And then I have Halloween Lowen being my main healer. That is typically how you want to build these teams, especially when you are manually playing them, because that just allows for a lot easier times playing, I guess. But it is much easier to have this type of comp setup when creating those teams.
And these teams definitely do differ slightly, because my dirt team on the screen now, as you can see, I don't have Patia, but I have Delphi, and I have Galacleo. Like, just teams differ. You build teams more or less how you want, but just having a not strict, but just having some form of combo in mind. Like, every unit has a purpose.
Exactly.
As long as you build a unit with purpose, you really can't go wrong. Types matter for healers, by the way, because in the healing formula, healers give more HP if the types line up with those they're healing with. But that doesn't matter for Grace, because she gives shields. So you can run Grace on any team as your quote-unquote healer.
Yeah, well, for example, on this light team right here, I still have Halloween Lowen equipped. He would heal less to these light units rather than the team of fire units right here. So definitely do keep that in mind when using healers on certain teams. But however, once again, Grace is just absolutely stupid, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So I think that covers most of it.
That should cover just about everything, I would say, to be honest. Yeah, I think that covers basic team building, at least when it comes to units. We did not cover prints, we did not cover dragons, nor shared skills as well.
Wait, actually, there's one more thing I would like to cover. So those of you who played Dragalia very early in the day, you guys will remember this. But how co-abilities worked back then was that every person who joined the co-op room, their co-ability affected the rest of the party. So everyone would run a different unit. Now you see that isn't the case. How co-abilities work in co-op is that the co-abilities I call it like a funnel to where it shoves the co-abilities into the one unit as you're in the room from the rest of your team. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, though, I kind of did cover that a little bit when I mentioned that the co-ops you have, they do matter in co-op. I kind of did cover that, but will you just provide a little more light to it?
Honestly, I didn't understand what you're saying.
Oh.
Dead honest, I'm sorry. I was just sitting like, what are you talking about?
Just if you don't understand, how would they understand?
That's why I spoke!
Either way, just if you have any more questions, feel free to join the Discord. You can ask us there. Feel free to leave a comment. More than happy to answer. I want to show as much people the light as possible.
The light?
Yes, the light. And with that, I think that can wrap up team building, honestly. So hopefully you guys came out of this video knowing rough formulas, at least, at how to team build, and just really starting to understand how some mechanics work in this game. There will be a lot more guides, not guides, going over a little bit more mechanics and more or less some progression stuff as well. So definitely look forward to that, and let the road to anniversary begin. So I'll see you all in the next video. See ya.